one of my biggest pet peeves is seeing do-it-yourself photography on a brand new listing. And with there being more homes on the market than we've seen in years, it's critical to make that first impression a great one when your home goes live on the MLS. So almost all home buyers start their search out online. And the number one thing they're looking at are listing photos. So your home's listing photos are basically, you can think of it as a dating profile. If the pictures don't catch a buyer's eye in a split second, they're gonna swipe right past your home and on to the next. So you want those pictures to really wow people for the right reasons. And if you're posting dim and cluttered shots of your home, buyers are gonna think, and they're gonna move on without ever coming to see your home. So great photos, they will stop people in their tracks and get them to click your listing out of the dozens of others that they're looking at. So you might be thinking, well, I've got a pretty good smartphone. Why can't I just snap the pictures myself? And I get it, everybody's got a nice camera in their pocket. But there's a night and day difference between DIY pics and professional real estate photos. Professional photos make your home look brighter and bigger and more inviting. And the pros know how to make a tiny half bath look like a spa. They use wide angle lenses to capture the whole room without giving that like warped fishbowl effect that you get from some of the apps. And they know how to find the best angles so each room looks open, it doesn't look cramped. So when I scroll through listings, I can usually spot the DIY photos almost immediately, and you probably can too. They're often dark, or the colors look off, or the angle's off. They're showing more of the ceiling or more of the floor than the actual room. And sometimes you can even see the homeowner in the reflection of the mirror, or they'll have a finger over the lens. I know that just really bugs me. So those are the kind of photos that can really turn a buyer off. I know it turns me off. So what that means for you is if you're posting that kind of stuff, that's going to mean fewer clicks for you. It's going to mean fewer people scheduling showings. And on the flip side of that, professionals photos are going to entice buyers to schedule a showing, not send them running. So hiring a professional, it's not just about like owning a fancy camera. I could have the same camera and still take terrible photos because I just don't have the skill and the experience behind it. So a pro real estate photographer knows how to work with lighting, they know how to work with angles, and they know how to edit so that every shot counts. They'll figure out the optimal time of day to shoot your home for the best natural light, or if your home doesn't have a lot of natural light, or if it's a cloudy day, they'll bring in lighting equipment if they need to. So they know exactly where to stand in each room, they know how to frame each shot so that it really showcases the room's best features and downplays the not so great features. And I want to clarify that part there, because I'm not saying we're hiding anything or we're eliminating not so great parts of the home. We're showing all parts of the home, but we're just accentuating, we're highlighting the great features of the home. So I just want to be clear about that. We're not hiding anything in these photos. We want the buyer, when they look at your photos, we want the buyer to be enticed, but we don't want them to be disappointed when they actually schedule the showing and they walk up and say, well, hey, this place doesn't look anything like the photos. I hear that a lot. So we want an accurate representation of the property, but highlighting those best features. So, and then after the photographer takes the photos, they're going to go back and they're going to carefully edit. They're going to adjust brightness, they're going to adjust the contrast, they're going to balance the colors, and they're going to sharpen the details. And so have you ever noticed, like when you're scrolling photos, you'll see the bright windows and you'll see what's outside the window, but you'll also see the room very clearly. Like one's not blurry, the inside's not blurry while the outside's crystal clear, and vice versa. That's not by accident. That's skillful editing. That's using the photographer using different techniques, which I don't have, and I would assume you don't have those either. So you're not just paying for someone to snap pics. You're paying for their trained eye and their editing chops. You're hiring the photographer's eye, not the camera. And that camera, that eye, could make a $300,000 home look like $1 million. So better photos equal more clicks, higher offers, and faster sales. So, all right, we've got good looking photos. So what does that do for you as a home seller? Well, I mean, simply put, better photos get better results. So more people will click your online listing, more people will come see the home, and that can lead to more and better offers. So there's actually data to back this up. So Listings with professional quality photos get up to 61% more views online than listings with amateur pictures. More views equals more potential buyers interested. So homes with high quality photos also tend to sell faster. One study found that they sold 32% quicker than homes with low quality photos. So that could be the difference between your house sitting on the market for 4 months versus your house sitting on the market for 2.5 months. Good photos draw more competition. So we'll often see higher offers with good quality photos. So some studies even found that homes with pro photos can sell for thousands of dollars more than similar homes with bad photos. So just think about it. If your home looks great, buyers get emotionally attached to it, and they're willing to pay closer to your asking price or maybe even above. And on the other hand, if your photos are dull or small, buyers are just going to start lowballing, or they're just going to skip it altogether. And if you don't have a lot of buyers coming to see the home, it's going to be sitting longer, so those offers are going to look worse and worse and worse. So yeah, spending a few $100 on a pro photographer can literally pay off in a higher sale price in a quicker sale. It's one of the best investments you can make in the selling process. So now that we're hiring a pro photographer, that's step one. That's critical. But you have some work as a homeowner to do. Even the best photographer can only work with what's in front of the lens. So we're going to talk about prepping your home for photo day. So what I actually do is I actually give my sellers a prep checklist, and that includes things like decluttering and depersonalizing. So you want your rooms to look open and inviting, and that means clearing out all the clutter. Put away things like piles of mail, kids' toys, random knickknacks. Take the magnets off the magnets in the photos and the takeout menus. Take all that stuff off the refrigerator. Tuck away your personal photos and anything that might be really unique to you, or something that's controversial. Like I'm a duck hunter, so we have some ducks on the wall. We take those down. So less stuff makes your rooms look bigger and helps buyers imagine themselves living there. So sorry to say, your 10-point buck head probably needs to go in storage. I wouldn't leave it up for photo day. So you want to clean your home also until it shines. Do a really, really deep clean. And I'm talking vacuuming, mopping, wiping down counters, wiping down windows, no dirty dishes in the sink, bathrooms are spotless, trash cans are hidden, toilet cleaning brushes are hidden, toilet lids are closed, the mirrors are streak-free. A home that looks cared for, it will literally shine in the photos. You can't make up for dirty living. So, it's critical. You have to clean the home and clean it very, very well. So we want to stage the home also with simple touches. You may not need a professional stager, and that's something we can certainly talk about, especially if your home is vacant. But you want to make sure that the beds are nicely made and that you fluff the pillows, that the bathrooms, maybe you put out the hand towels that you only put out when you have special guests over. So you just want to do the simple things that make your home look a little bit more upscale. Maybe in the living room, arrange a couple of tasteful decor pieces on a coffee table and hide the TV remotes. You want it to look minimal but cozy. You don't want it to look sterile like a hospital. You want people to be able to visualize themselves living there, but there is a fine line between having too much stuff and not enough stuff. You also want to light it up. Lighting is your best friend in a photo shoot. So on the day of the shoot, you want to open all the curtains and the blinds to let as much natural light in as possible, and you want to turn every light on the house, every single light and lamp, even if it's during the day, every one of them, turn them on. This makes the home look bright and warm in the pictures, and you also want to turn off your ceiling fans. So lights on, ceiling fans off. If the ceiling fans are spinning, it's going to catch a weird motion on the camera. It could throw some shadows. So lights on, ceiling fans off. That's my pro tip to you. You also want to make sure that all of your light bulbs are working. So if you have a light fixture, you've got 3 bulbs, make sure all 3 lights are working in that light fixture. And also make sure they're the same color temperature. That's often something that gets overlooked. If you but if you've got a drawer full of light bulbs like we all do, that in that junk drawer, make sure you go replace those bulbs if they're not throwing off the same color temperature. So curb appeal, let's talk about that. That counts a lot too. So the photographer is going to take a few pictures in the front yard. They're going to take a few pictures in the backyard. So a day or two before, make sure that your yard looks good. Go ahead and cut the grass, blow off the driveways and sidewalks, get a good edge on the flower beds. Make sure there's no kids' toys in the yard, garden tools, stray hoses, just, all that stuff. Make sure it's picked up. Move your cars out of the driveway so they're not front and center in front of your house. And don't forget to hide your trash can, your recycle bin. No one wants to see your gorgeous house with a trash can sitting right in front of it. Hide those things. So basically clean up the exterior of your house as if you were having someone super important to come over, because you are a photographer. So sweep the porch, maybe put out a couple of potted plants, maybe put some seasonal color in the flower beds. Little touches outside make a great first impression and can really go a long way. And it's not like any of this stuff is super expensive. So yeah, I would put some seasonal color out, put some things in the flower beds or on the porch. These little tips will make the photographer's job so much easier. It's really a team effort here. You prep it, the photographer shoots and edits, and I sell it. So the bottom line, if you want to get top dollar and sell your house fast, invest in a professional real estate photographer and prep your home the right way. A great listing photo in today's market, it is not a luxury. It is an absolute must. It's a small expense up front that can mean a faster sale and a higher price. So don't cut corners on this part. Hire a pro, and you'll be thankful that you did when those offers come rolling in. And if you need a recommendation for a real estate photographer, I'd be happy to talk to you. I have several that I use. I'd be happy to talk to you and recommend one to you. Give me a call today.